Hello and welcome back to another video. We're delighted to be joined by Preston Edwards, former Ebbsfleet United keeper, got promoted with Ebbsfleet, played for Dulwich and got promoted there as well, and also played for Millwall as well. So Preston, how you doing?
I'm well, thanks. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're not too bad. How you been coping during lockdown?
To be honest with you, I think I don't want to go back to the normal life. I've been really enjoying it. No, I'm being honest. Spending more time with my family. Found out new things to do with work. Working at home and everything, and it's been going really well. And I think the quality of life is, spending as much time with your family as possible has been really valuable to me.
Have you been enjoying doing the homeschooling with your kids?
Yeah, the homeschool. I've been doing tutoring for many years, so it's nothing new to me, and I know how difficult homeschooling is, and I found that out by doing that with my child, because it's not easy, because they can tell you, "Oh, shut up, Dad," whatever. But it's a new challenge, and it's something that we all have to embrace, because it's difficult, and I do think that it will carry on for a long time.
Mm. And in terms of your football career, I believe you started at Millwall. How did it come about that you was going to be a footballer?
The reason why I play in goals because I was a fat asthmatic kid who couldn't run around the pitch. So they just stick the fat one who's pretty big in goal, and it turned out to be all right. There was a match where I played for a team called Enfield Spartans. That's where I grew up in Enfield, and then it was a decision between Millwall and Tottenham, and I'm a big Tottenham fan. But what my dad said is he's got to go for a realistic route, really. So I was there from the age of 9 years old till 19. Made a couple of appearances at Millwall as well. And yeah, that's how it started off, really.
During that time, you made some appearances for the England under 17s and 18s. What was that like?
Yeah, great experience. Obviously, it's an honour to get picked from England and everything. It's a shame I didn't build on that, really. Probably too quickly, to be honest with you. Millwall thought really high of me, and I probably, took too much of that praise as well, and I didn't really build on it. So you can't live in regret. You just move on, and that's what it is.
Mm. And you came on as a sub for Millwall against Swansea. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, of course. It was my first team debut. I was meant to start that game because of the Johnston's paint rules. Yeah, you have to have 8 regular starters or something like that. I was brought on within 2 minutes of the game. So yeah, obviously they played at the Liberty Stadium back then, and they had like Wilfred Boney up front and a few others. But yeah, I think we lost. Yeah, we lost 2-1. Yeah, good experience to make my debut, and then I made my league debut against Doncaster a few months afterwards. So yeah, no, it was good.
During your time at Millwall, you got loaned out to Dover, where you won the league. What was it obviously getting your first promotion as a player?
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. I didn't really know much of Dover. As you do as a young kid, you don't really know about 4 or 5 levels below you. So when I went there, I really didn't know anything. I remember my first game was against Ramsgate away. It was muddy, it was windy, and it was like, wow, like this is what I've come to, sort of thing. But I thoroughly enjoyed my time at Dover. Met some good people there, and there were some very good players there as well.
Did it take some time to go from sort of youth football? So you played a bit of first team with Millwall, but did it take some time? Was it a bit of a culture shock?
Not really, because what my trouble was is that I was fast-tracked too soon, because I was on the bench at Millwall from the age of 17. Didn't play that much youth team football, and I was only playing reserve team football. I didn't really play many youth team games, so seeing men wasn't nothing really new to me. And that was probably my problem. I didn't play enough football because I was always on the bench, just sitting around, wasn't playing anything. And then when it comes to Dover, it was a bit of a shell shock in terms of playing the game right and the game management, because it's different to youth team football, obviously. But I was involved in the first team environment from a very young age, so I kind of knew what I was coming up against.
Mm. And then you decided to leave Millwall, despite them actually offering you a contract. Why did you decide to leave?
To be honest with you, it was financial. They gave me a 50% pay cut because when I was young age, it was England under 17s, and there was a few clubs that come in for me and they put me on contract I shouldn't have been on. So basically, it come to the time, and I was probably better at the age of 17 than when I was at 19. So I understand why they did it. It's not. I knew I declined rather than excel. So basically, they gave me on a contract to say, no, this is what you should be on as a first team pro. So yeah, decided to leave because I got the taste of men's football with Dover, really.
And obviously, after you left Millwall, you signed for Grays. I remember you played in goal against Fleet, sort of Boxing Day on New Year's Day.
Yes.
And yeah, Grays had a few sort of financial issues that year. Was that a tough year, obviously?
No, it was probably my worst year in football. Worst decision I made in terms of my career, going to Grays. People warned me about going there, basically, stick out a little bit, go on trial, etc. But I was just so excited to start the season as a number one, even though it's conference football. But yeah, no, I didn't really see eye to eye with anyone at Grays, to be honest with you. I only played about 25 times in a season as well, in, out. And funnily enough, I probably had my worst games in a Grays shirt against Ebbsfleet. And it's just funny enough that I ended up Ebbsfleet the season after.
And then obviously you went on you had a successful trial period at Ebbsfleet, and I decided to sign you. What did Liam Daesh, what was his ambitions for the club at the time?
I knew that he wanted to be successful because he's probably a little bit, I don't belong in a Conference South mentality. And I always remember that. It's like, Preston, Conference South is not that good. And it's like, but you don't realise it at the time because you're playing at that level and you don't know what's good and what's bad, to be honest with you. And I always remember he used to say to Laura and me, goes, you can dominate this, it's rubbish, like sort of thing. But you just don't know. And I just think that he felt that he belonged at a high level. So we kind of went out with that arrogance to obviously do better. And it just showed by the way we got promoted, etc. So, obviously I went in trial, played a few games, did well, and he signed me. And I was happy with that because I know that a few Fleet fans were a little bit disappointed that they signed someone who got lobbed from the halfway line in the previous games against Grays. So, thoroughly enjoyed that season.
And during that season, you're probably expecting this question, but you became an internet sensation. I've just checked it now. It's on 11 million views. What was it like? Obviously, you got sent off in 10 seconds. Was it a weird feeling, obviously, having all that sort of media attention at that time?
I'm still waiting for YouTube to give me my name rights for that, by the way. But, you know what? It just happened so fast. It just happens, and then I was just screaming at Ryan Blake, like, what are you doing? Like, sort of thing, and you can hear a few, explicits in there, explicit words, but yeah, it just happened so fast. I just didn't know what to expect. Just walked off the pitch for a little tantrum. Within 10 minutes, I was like, it's only 10 minutes gone in the game, so what can I be annoyed about? So yeah, it's just one of them things. Got a little media hype of it. I understand why. It's the fastest sending off in football. So yeah, it's just something your name comes to and you see it in the programmes regularly.
What made it worse is we didn't have a keeper on the bench, and to be fair to Tom, Fifty did a decent job in goal too. He was only three.
Yeah, he did. And you know what? I always say this was fate. It's the first time we didn't put a keeper on the bench that season. And it happens. It's just sent off. And it's just one of them things.
And then you spoke about the promotion. It was against Farnborough, and at the time they were obviously the favourites going into the game. What was it like to get your second promotion?
It felt much better because obviously I was Dover. I was only there for like 3/4 of the season, and I didn't feel like I was part of Dover because obviously I was on loan. This one was from start to finish. Got to know some great friends who I'm really close with now. And it was just a fantastic feeling, It's better to get promoted in the playoffs rather than the league because at Dover we romped that league. We got the most points ever tallied up in the Roman Prem. So great feeling. Great lads at Ebbsfleet and thoroughly enjoyed it.
Was that final difficult? Because I remember my dad just said we having you on. He said you had a bit of a hand injury in that game.
So wasn't a hand injury. I dislocated my peroneal tendon with my ankle. So I did it against Thurrock about 3 games before, and that's why they brought in Darren Hawkes. And personally, Darren deserved to play the final because he played really well he played the 2 semi-finals in the game before. But from a selfish point of view, I played all the season and, felt that I deserved to play. So really, I shouldn't have been playing. But in hindsight, I look at it now. If I didn't play in that, I wouldn't have played for the England C in the final the next game. So in a good way, sometimes you've got to play through injury.
Obviously, you mentioned England C. What was it like? Obviously, was there a big difference between obviously playing with the youth sort of England and then obviously playing for the England C? Was the England C as good as playing as the under 17?
Yeah, still as good. Still a professional setup. I do think that with the 17s, 18s, and 19s, England, you get a little bit more, obviously, because some of them players like Daniel Sturridge, some top draw players, they're coming from big clubs. And when you got someone who's the Luton players, for example, they're not going to treat you like the City players. So basically, it was a very professional setup and they treated you well. And yeah, I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm. And then the next season in the conference, we finished mid-table, but your season was cut short a little bit due to an ankle injury. What did you make of that year? Yeah,
so that ankle injury was from the previous playoff final. So I was playing more or less injured for the whole season, just gritting my teeth, going through every single game. And that season, I thought we did quite well considering consolidating and the teams we was coming up against. Our budget wasn't great towards the teams in the league, but I thought, yeah, it was all right. It was a solid season. Enjoyed it. We're just building on from the previous year, really.
Obviously, in the next season, it was a lot tougher. We finished second to bottom, but you cleaned up in the in sort of Player of Season awards. What was it? Why do you think you performed so well that season?
Because we finished second from bottom and conceding so many shots. It wasn't a great year that year. Some of the boys that were brought in my opinion, wasn't really cut for Ebbsfleet United. The previous years it was kind of more of a close-knit group, but I saw a division in the group, and we just didn't compete well, really. Just didn't build on from the previous season, and you always had that thing in the background that we weren't getting paid a little bit, and that doesn't help. But maybe my mentality is different from others, is that you will eventually get paid. Money comes and goes, so you can't really just sit there and say, we're not going to get our money, just get on with it, sort of thing, I understand that people have got mortgages and everything like that, but just move on, just get on with it,
And when you spoke about your ankle injury, did it affect your game in such? Could you sort of not do certain things that you could do?
Yeah, so I felt that moving to my right sharply did affect me, and I didn't jump off it, so there was a little bit of the technique wasn't as strong as it should be. But after I had my ankle operation, it took a while to get back up to speeds and then just go on from there.
And obviously, the season after the Fleet had a takeover. Obviously, we spoke to Michael Weston. He left and came back with obviously the takeover had taken place. It went from sort of chasing money to sort of a national with the incredible setup we went to. What was it like? Obviously, going that crazy sort of shift from sort of chasing.
Yeah, so I don't believe Wesley was in the first year of the takeover because we had Steve.
Yeah, he came back from Crewe.
Yeah, so it's the season we got to a playoff final and lost, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it just basically went from no money to a potless, amount of money. I was meant to leave, and I was adamant that I was going to leave. And then Ebbsfleet, the new owner, Dr. Abdullah, come in and said, "No, we want you to stay." Blah blah blah. And we had a brand new squad. I think it was only me, Laura, Joe Howe who was left. And again, we enjoyed that season. It was quite tough because there was more spotlight put on us, and you see it from having no spotlight put on a team to having everyone wants to shoot you down. So it's a little bit different in terms of how you played and etc. And how people react to when they score against you, you know. And we did well, and it was just funny enough that we kept like 12 home games in a row without conceding a goal, and then in the final we lose. So yeah, it's football, isn't it?
Obviously, you mentioned that interest. John Steele was opening. He was interested in you when he was at Luton. What was it like, obviously, getting that interest?
Yeah, there was one game actually where I popped my shoulder out and I didn't play a couple of games, and then we played Luton away and decided to play. Should never have played. I should never have played, but I did just because I just felt that was the best move for my career, you know, playing through injury, just to grit your teeth and see if you can do better, just to move on. Yeah, because I did hear of it. I did hear of the interest, and you know, Ebbsfleet at the time, they weren't paying us or whatever, and you just got to look for your best interest and be selfish for yourself.
And obviously, you spoke about the injuries you got. When you have the injuries, do you ever feel like, oh, I shouldn't really do this because this could actually ruin my career if the injury gets worse?
So as time goes on, I realised that it's not you're not just your injuries are not just not helping you, not helping the team either. So when I see a player go down and he's playing with an injury and it's not helping the team, it actually affects a lot of the team. So I don't bother playing with an injury anymore. I just completely stay off it. But at the time, and you're young and you want to keep on playing, you kind of just get on with it, you know, sort of thing.
What was it like making that? Obviously, when the takeover happened, we went back to full time. Obviously, you hadn't been full time for a little while at Fleet and obviously at Grays. What was it like? You're making that shift back to full time?
No, because I would like to think that I'd always do the extras outside of gym, outside of football, in the gym and everything. So it wasn't too bad. You concentrate on your football a little bit more. I'm not a great trainer. I would say I'm one of the worst in terms of performing at a high standard. But in terms of match day, I try to think that I'm more of a leader and when I try and play, basically, rather than a training goalkeeper. Because I know that anyone can make a great save, but myself, I don't make many. But in terms of being in the right position, yeah, maybe I'm better at that. So yeah, it was good, but it's just sadly how it ended up, basically.
And obviously, we lost to Dover in the playoffs, and then the season after, you had to compete with Brandon Hall for your spot. Was that difficult being the number 2 at times?
Yeah, of course, because it's not something that I was used to. First time I was obviously Grays a bit in and out, but I played X amount of games at Ebbsfleet being successful, and then all of a sudden, a new kid on the block and wasn't playing. But again, it's football. It happens. It's happened to the best of goalkeepers in the world. You just have to deal with it the best way you can, you know. And that's it. It's just football, really. You can't do anything about it. It's not in your control. So control whatever you can.
And during that season, you made your 200th appearance for the club. What was that? Was that a proud moment for you?
Yeah, of course. If you played over 100 times for your club, you mean you've done consistently well for that period of time, you know. So, yeah, of course, very happy with that. And something that I can say something to my children about.
And you spent time on loan with Boreham Wood and Dulwich. What did you learn from these loans?
Boreham Wood wasn't successful. I went there so Darryl McMahon came as manager, and then I went on loan to Boreham Wood. Didn't really enjoy it there, to be honest with you. And I cut the loan short and went to Dulwich, which was 2 leagues below in the Roman Prem. And I've been there ever since, still there now.
And obviously you signed for Dulwich and you played a ridiculous amount of games in that first season. What was it like? Obviously, you had a few years of not being the number one. What was it like being the number one again and being the main man at Dulwich?
Yeah, no, Dulwich is a massive club, building and getting bigger and bigger every time, you know. And you don't see that until you're there. The potential is massive, really. It's just in the central of London, and it just keeps on growing. There's 3,000 fans every week, you know, and it's great to go there and play football, and then you're playing in front of that many fans. It's really good incentive to do well. So I thoroughly enjoyed my time at Dulwich. I'm building on now. Basically, I'm part doing the coaching and everything. So yeah.
And then the next 2 years, I believe Dulwich lost both playoff finals they got to. Was it difficult to go again after these results? Obviously, you get to the playoff final, you feel like, oh, we're gonna go up, and then you lose, and then it's sort of like, oh, we have to go again the next season. Is it difficult?
Extremely difficult. I went on loan and get playoffs straight away. You know, you're considered as a hero straight away. You know, and then you sign for them. You go like, right, this time we're getting promoted. You lose again. We go to the next playoff final and we win. So it's just one of them things. You just get your head down and move on. Yeah, you just get your head down and move on and just go on from there.
What were those celebrations like after? Obviously, was it Hendon? Was it beating Hendon?
Yes, it was very wild. We had a free bar at the local pub on the roundabout, and literally police cars coming past, and you'd spray them with champagne, and it's something you just get away with, you know. And it's just like thousands of fans on the streets, and it was a great experience. Loved the time.
And then you've had 2 seasons with Dulwich in the National South. How have them 2 seasons been? Yeah,
first season, it was difficult. It was very difficult. We had was playing at Tooting and Mitcham, which is not our local. Obviously, our ground is a local team, and getting booted out of our own stadium and then going from 3,000 fans to about 1,000 fans was quite difficult, and it was very far away. Travelling was get to everyone because it's in the middle of nowhere. It's taken me about 2.5 hours to get there sometimes. It was all right. It was all right. I won Player of the Year. So happy with that. I think we ended up where we deserved to end up, to be fair, mid-table, because the first season we lost a few players as well. So it was all right. It was all right. And then this season, I got injured at the start of the season, and they brought in another goalkeeper and then another boy on loan, and they've done well. But I knew my season was different this year because I was part of the staff, gone into coaching with the goalkeeping coaching. So I knew I'd be in and out anyway. So it was just trying to use my knowledge and my experience with the younger goalkeepers. And
obviously, you went on loan for a bit this season with was your sort of local club Chester?
Yeah. So basically, I didn't play for a while, and Cheshunt is where I grew up. After the age of 14 anyway. So I knew the manager there, and I just went there for 2 games, because it was a week before the lockdown. So literally I have no experience. I just played 2 games really in my eyes, and that's it. I didn't have really much to say about that. Yeah.
And what are your plans for next season?
Yeah, well, who knows? I don't even know if there's any football, so I haven't even given it a thought. I should be more proactive rather than reactive. But I don't know. You don't know. People's money is going to probably be half of what it was. I see different things being mentioned all the time, but that's at the top level. At non-league level, it's going to be very difficult to have no fans because that's where the money's coming from. So I don't know. Ideally, I'd obviously love to stay at Dulwich, keep on growing with them because it's obviously a great club. But I have no idea what's going to happen, to be honest with you.
Obviously, you've mentioned becoming a goalkeeping coach this season. What was it obviously like going from a sort of being part of one of the lads and then becoming a coach, obviously?
So I'd like to think that I was still similar in person, but obviously I know my boundaries, what to say and what not to say. But I've thoroughly enjoyed the role. Working with 2 goalkeepers, Charlie Granger and Ashley Maynard Brewer, who come on loan from Charlton. And I just grew as a person, and you speak to them differently. And you just try and put out some pointers, really, how to improve and not prove as a player, but prove as a person as well, you know. Just trying to build on and help the team out and do the best of the way you can for the club.
Obviously, those goalkeeping groups are really tight. Do you think that those two goalkeepers have learned a lot from this season?
I believe actually Maynard Grew has learned a lot, because obviously he come on loan for 2 months, and he's probably the best young goalkeeper I've seen. Extremely good. He will play for Charlton's first team, no doubt, no problem. And then Charlie, I thought, has grown as well. Played a lot of games. First season at Dulwich, he played a little bit of Orient, and I know it was up and down for him over there, but I thought he had a solid season, done well. So yeah, he can just build on that. But again, we don't know what's going to happen for next season.
And then after football, so when you decide to retire, what are your plans after football?
Yeah, so I've been teaching for 8 years now anyway, so I'll probably head down that route in terms of education. So Dulwich is still mornings, so we do 3 mornings, but I do 2 days full time at the school. So I'll just go back into teaching. I still got my sports coaching business as well, which is, touch wood, going well. But say touch wood, schools are closed, so earning no money from that. But yeah, no, it's been good in terms of trying to build on from football, because I know football doesn't last forever. So you've got to try and do everything you can to keep a roof over my head for my young family and my wife.
How do you manage your time? Obviously, you got your business, you've got your teaching. You've got your coaching at Dulwich and also playing at Chestnut as well. So how do you manage your time?
Just get up at 5:30 and finish at 10. It never stops really, but it stops when, you know, you've paid for your house, and, you know, I'm trying to retire early, to be honest with you. Try and get as much money as I can and then chill out, basically. There's no money don't stop, so you just keep it going and, you know, try and put your fingers in as many pies as possible and try and do the best way you can, really. So, like, I knew I'm not going to earn any money from football. Teaching, I can't get any work from there because there's no schools are shut. So I thought, put my fingers in online tutoring, and it's been going well. So, you know, you just got to try and do whatever you can to survive, basically, because that's what the whole human body is designed for, to survive. You know, that's why we eat food.
Do you want to go for your best 11?
Yeah, no problem. I didn't include me England 17s, 18s, 19s players, because that's unfair. Because that was a long time ago, and he played about 2 or 3 times with them. So it's just my non-league. So in goal, I put Ashley Maynard Brewer. Even though it was a short time for 2 months, I thought it was unbelievable. It was excellent. Something you can build on in the future. I've gone for a 5-2-3.
Oh, defensive.
Yeah, I like to keep my clean sheets, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, no doubt, Paul Lorraine, captain, leader, everything. Learned so much with each other. Excellent. Everything I could, if I could design a centre half, it would be him. Just kick it, head it, warrior. Yeah. And the other one, partner in 3 at the back is Clint Easton. Rolls-Royce, a defender. You could see that he played in the Premiership in terms of his quality and his technique. It's just a shame that he played at the back end of his career, but yeah, thought it was excellent. The other centre half is Ethan Pinnock, he's at Brentford now. He went from Dulwich to Forest Green, and he was extremely good. You can see why he's playing at the Champ, and a lot of Prem clubs are looking at him. Left wing back, I've got Nathan Green. All my goal kicks went to him. He made my kicking look good. Won every single header. Warrior. If you could have his body, you'll be really happy. Let's put it that way. And right wing back, I put Joe Howe in terms of his versatility. Up and down, fit, really fit. Good lad as well. I like Joe. Quiet, but got on with his business well. He played over 200 times with Ebbsfleet as well. So good career. In the middle, Ram Marwa, unsung hero, got on with his business well. In fact, it was probably my player of the year when we got to the playoff final. When we won the playoff final. So unsung. You don't realise what he does until you're in the team, and when he's missing, you realise what you're missing. So, and this person probably been through my whole career. Ashley Carew, played with Ebbsfleet and Dulwich. So I played with good 7 years with him. Unbelievable technique. Probably one of the most gifted players I've played with. And extremely good. Up front, I've gone James Norwood, who I played with England C. Very robust forward, works extremely hard, done well, and he's progressed up to obviously Tranmere and Ipswich now. So done really well with his career. I've got Andre Gray, played with Andre Gray with a lot of times with England C. Hence why he's playing in the Prem. He's just got lots of quality, strong as an ox, and works really hard. And the other player who progressed into the league is Reece Alassani. He was at Dulwich
as well.
Last year, this year as well. And when we got promoted, if he didn't have his knee injury, he'd be playing at the top level. He's an extremely good player. Very fast, direct, both-footed, knows where the back of the net is. Yeah, simple as that.
Who would you have managing that team?
I would have Liam Daish and Kevin Rose, actually, when I think about that. I didn't have my... But in terms of Liam Daish, I thought he put a lot of trust in me when no one had any trust in me. When all my career was down, basically, he picked me up and we got promoted the next season. So, extremely happy with him taking a chance on me, basically, and done really well since.
3 more questions before you go. Obviously, you've had 3 promotions in your career. Which one of those was the best?
I would say Ebbsfleet, because in the player final I was injured for Dulwich.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would say Ebbsfleet, but I did enjoy Dulwich as well. But because I was injured for the player final, I didn't play in that game. So yeah, I'd say Ebbsfleet.
Who would you say the best teammate was at Fleet?
Oh wow! So I've got. I still speak to Loro, Clint, and Ram really well. I'm going to say Ram. Because he's let me stay in his Dubai suite a few times. So I'm going to say Ram. Yeah.
And your final question: what's the best moment in your career?
Captain in England, England C, way to Bermuda. Not often people can say they captain their country, so. I'll say that's the best honour I've had, and really happy with that. Obviously, I've got that framed, so I'll say that's the best honour. But then every time I set foot on a pitch, it's an honour, because you never know when your last game is.
Obviously, big thanks for coming on, Preston. Obviously, good luck with the online tutoring, and
thank you.
Thanks
for your time, guys. Keep putting that effort in, and. Hope for great success for Fleet in the future.
All right, cheers.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully you get back coaching with Dulwich.
Yeah. Let's hope so. All right then, guys.
Cheers, mate. All the best.
And the best. See you later now. Bye-bye.
See you later.